Hey guys, welcome back to another Bless Unleashed video. So you want to be a master Pokemon? Do you have the skill to be #1? Okay, so I get some people asking me what is my build for the Crusader. So I'm gonna give you what I have right now. So we got Twin Slash, Counter Attack, and Carve a Path. These are the main three things that I upgrade, and the one that I upgrade the most is Carve a Path because I like this attack very much and it does a lot of DPS. Okay, and then the last one I upgrade is Furious War. I only put level 5 because I just want the extra 5% attack power. So I get a total of 10% attack power just by using this buff over here. Okay, so that's it. Twin Slash, Counter Attack, Carve a Path. Because I like using Counter Attack because in situation where there's a lot of mobs that are attacking you at once, you just use this and then you refresh both of your Twin Slash and Carve a Path whenever you get a nice counter attack. It's very satisfying to use, so that's why I use this attack. So let's go into our blessing over here and see why I like counter attack so much. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade all of these. Obviously, you're gonna try to upgrade all of these as much as possible. I upgrade the Moonlight Flash more because it does give you an overall boost to your DPS and your health. If you just read over here, is that hitting enemies with combos has a 30% chance to decrease the cooldown of Slash skills by 16 seconds. So every time you do a combo, you decrease the cooldowns for all of your skills for your Twin Slash and Carve a Path. And every time you use Carve a Path or Twin Slash, you decrease the cooldown of Counter Attack. Counter Attack have a high cooldown, so it's 42 seconds. However, the more you spam your Carve a Path and Twin Slash, you'll make the Counter Attack always available for you. So whenever you get attacked, you can always sort of count on your Counter Attack being able to be used. And remember, you get health back whenever you Counter Attack because of your blessings. So if you look over here, successful counter attacks restore 4% HP and resets the cooldown of Slash skills. Oh man, this is super OP build. I like this build so much and it's very satisfying to use again. So why do I take in Crescent Slash? Because it gives you a range attack. So in this game, when you are a melee, you don't have much range options for you. So the only range options you have for Crusader is the Crescent Slash. However, you can also do other blessings such as Gift of Valor, which is also viable for DPS because this one does all of your final strikes. I could get into that later, but this one you are able to use gap closers much more often than if you were to use this one. So basically, the difference between the Gift of Valor DPS build and the Crescent Moon DPS build is that the Gift of Valor, you can close gap easily because you have access to Brave Assault, which basically you leap to your opponent such a far distance, or you can dash to your opponent, which is a very far distance as well, because they both get buff from this trait line or blessing line. So, but for this one, you get access to your range attack and counter attack. So I like this one a lot better. And as well as this one providing you much more AoE than the Gift of Valor one. The Gift of Valor one only gives you AoE in a straight line. This one gives you an AoE in a circle. So you can do a lot of DPS for a lot of trash mobs if you get cornered. And so we go on to our class skill. You want to go to class skills, and basically these are situational. I use guard whenever I'm in a dungeon with a lot of mobs or with a big attack that would pretty much eliminate people whenever you can't get away from. Or I use Chains of War. Right now I'm using Chains of War because my shield gives me a debuff for the boss or enemies defenses. So that's why I'm using it right now. But ideally, I'll be using Endless Crusade as well as Zealot's Fire because it gives you an extra boost in DPS. As you can see, Zealot's Fire gives you a 5% boost in all your DPS, and Endless Crusade gives you a crit chance rate of 10%. So I need to upgrade, I think, my Union class level to 20 before I can unlock this. So that's when I will use it. The only drawback about using Zealot Fire is because you cannot sheath the Zealot Fire, so you have to wait until the cooldown is off until then you can get out of combat. So whenever you're fighting trash mob in the open world and you use Zealot's Fire and you're done and you still have like a huge timer on it, you're just gonna have to stand around before you can get out of combat and use your mount and go somewhere else. And remember, in this game, when you're in combat, when you run, it takes off all your stamina really quickly, so you can't really travel a far distance. Therefore, making your gameplay slower when you are using Zealous Fire in the open world. So I hardly ever use Zealous Fire in the open world. I would rather use Chains of War to get me that decrease in enemies' armor. And also I use Guard just so I can have it there. The thing about this game is that switching between your traits, it's a hassle because you have to pay for almost everything you do in this game. You pay for waypoints, you pay for switching traits, you pay for unbinding your equipments. You pay a lot in this game, so there's so much grind. I just don't like that. And also, you don't have equipment templates to switch around from freely because we have like these blessings over here. Oh, anyways, this is not a complaint video, so I'm just going to go over the traits. There are a lot of things to complain about, but anyways, I'm getting off track. So let's go back right to our build. So if you want to see the equipments, I'm going to show you over here. I usually go after a lot of attack power. I'm going to give you my character info over here. So as you can see, I have increased attack power a lot. I got 5,000 attack. I wish I can get it more, but it costs a lot. Right now, I'm using a lot of cheap gear that I can get quite quickly and easily on the trading post that they have in this game. So as you can see, my sword is 520 attack power. My shield is decreased defense of enemies affected by chains of war by 3.2%. So that's an extra 3.2% attack power boost for 7 seconds. And then for my helmet, the cheapest one I got is the defense penetration plus 5.12%. I guess I'd rather have this than the crit chance one because the crit chance one costs millions of seeds. So it's I'd rather spend what 60,000 seeds for this helmet versus a million for a crit chance that is like 3 to 4 or 5%. So I mean, ideally I would want that in the future, but right now I'm using the defense penetration for my helmet. So for my armor, I'm using increased defense because there's no really attack power on armor, and there's no crit chance on armor. There's crit hit, but I don't really want to go after crit hit because my crit chance is too low. I'd rather have my crit chance higher than my crit hit higher. So that's why I chose defense because there's no other better alternative for the armor. So, and the next one for the pants, I'm using Carve a Path. I cannot afford the attack power one or the crit chance one yet, so I use Carve a Path, which is probably like what 30,000 seeds instead of what 500,000 for the crit chance one or the power one. I think they have power or crit chance, but so I just use Carve a Path since that is the most used skill that I use, and it doesn't really affect my DPS in terms of overall gameplay because I use Carve a Path all the time. So I use the +1 because it's cheap. And then for my boots, I'm using a attack power of plus 720, and then gloves also increase attack power of 366. I'm going after attack power more than I am going crit chance because I think attack power boosts your overall DPS a lot more than if you were to have a higher crit chance because it is a chance that you will crit, and attack power you'll always hit that number. So that's why I'm leaning towards attack power more than crit chance. So for my shoulders, I have Carve a Path level 2. This one, you can get a high attack power on this one, and I wish I can have it, but then again, that's cost way too much compared to just having a Carve a Path skill. So I rather just get what 30-40,000 seeds versus a million seeds for the shoulders. Maybe in the future I'll be able to get attack power for it. Ideally, I want attack power for it because I don't just want to use Carve a Path and buff that. Since I'm using my counter attack, I'm also using my twin slash, so I need to do that too. So my belt is increased hit rate for 4%. I found this one, and I'm lucky I did because this thing does cost a lot. Crit hit chance. And then we move over to our accessories on our top left corner. I have increased critical hit rate by 4.81%, and I have increased critical hit rate by 3.47%. So the top one is the amulet, and the bottom one is the ring. So ideally, I want crit hit chance on the ring and the attack power on the amulet, but of course ideally you want attack power and crit hit chance on both amulet and ring, but I do not see that option in the trading post just yet. And even if there was an option, it will probably cost millions of seeds. So right now I'm just leaning towards crit hit chance. So if you don't know how to build around those the amulets and rings, as you can see, you see the little symbol that is on the left side of the increased critical hit writing. that's the symbol of it to being activated. So you need 8 of your armor to have something like that symbol in order for you to activate it on your ring and necklace. So right now I have 8 of those white little thing, and so that's why I am able to activate the crit hit chance. So if you look at over here, I only have 2 out of 8 of the red one. So increased attack power is inactive until I get 8 of it. So what am I saying is that look at your armor over here. If you look at the bottom and above Crusader Berserker level 25, you see these symbols. These are what will activate your amulets and rings. That's how you can tell which one you want to buy from the TP. I'm mostly going after the white one and the red one. If I can find both of those, I will buy it. And then that's it. I don't want to buy anything else like the yellow one. I don't want to buy. The green one is for health, I think, and for defense maybe, but I also don't need. So those are a waste of slot as well as the gold one. So my main goal is to get the red and white onto the symbols for each of my armor sets so that I can buff it off with the necklace and the ring. So yeah, hopefully I didn't miss anything. And also for consumables, obviously in a lot of games you kind of save up your consumables, but in this one just use it. Use all your buffs whenever you get it because these buffs come along pretty easily. I always have my increased attack speed on, or I can get the more crit hit rate with the Elixir of Hunter. I do all my side quests, so that's why these potions come very quickly for me, so I always eat them. And then for cooking, you always want to eat. You always want to have your cooking buff. So whenever I want a free buff, most of the time people are hanging around this area. So what is this area? I'm gonna show you over here. So it's Tristessa all the way down on your map. Ruins of Tristessa is the bottom right corner. You go over here, get this waypoint over here, and run towards the Soul Pyre because most of the time people are hanging around here and they're gonna put down food for you, and so you don't have to spend your own food. As you see over here, someone put down a food over here is increased max HP plus 504. A lot of people do put down crit hit chance and crit hit damage onto here, so I would get a free buff. And then, yeah, that's it. Hopefully I covered everything about this class, and I'm going to show you some gameplay right now. All right, so I'm going to cover path, and then that just kills everyone. That's it. Cover path and kill everyone. And again, if you get overwhelmed, obviously you can just use your counter attack. There we go. See that counter attack? We'll do it again. Watch. I'm using my skills to reset my counter. There we go. And boom. See, 20 something K. And then all of my slash skills resets. Look, all of my, right now I'm using all my slash skills. Right? They're on cooldown. And see what happens when I am going to use my counter attack when they attack. See, everything gets reset. So I'm going to use my counter attack again. Every time I use my slash skill, counter attack refreshes. Counter, refresh. There you go. And then you just keep spamming your attacks. Simple, right? See, counter attack already refreshed. Doesn't even have to wait that 40 seconds. So the thing is about counterattack, you have to time it correctly because it's a 1 second window. If you miss it, then you miss it and it's not satisfying. But when you get it, it's so satisfying to use. So that's why I like this. Okay, so that's all I have for today. And if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.